Creature Commandos, episode
Yes.
3. I'm not sure if you saw too much of this. This seems like the kind of thing that might have managed to spill into your Twitter feed. Did you see people discussing the political implications of episode 3?
No.
Okay, so we'll do a quick TLDR of the episode. The episode very much is focused on GI Robot,
R.I.P.
GI Goatbot. And we get kind of flashbacks of him.
Yep.
And the big crescendo of the episode is we get a flashback of him having been adopted by a man named Sam. Sam takes him to meet their friends. Turns out they're Nazis. He kills them all, and then he goes to prison for it.
Away.
Yeah, and then he takes him. He gets taken to prison for murdering 37 people. The response on Twitter was nothing short of hilarious.
Uh-oh.
I didn't get too involved because it was too funny.
Uh-oh.
But basically, a lot of people misunderstood it, in my opinion, because it is art. There is interpretations. I happen to think their interpretation is dog shit.
Okay.
So you had people going, see how sad it is that GI Robot treated the one person who treated him nicely and killed him because he had different opinions.
I'm sorry, what?
And they're like... And basically the whole idea was, see, like, this show's saying, if someone's nice to you, respond to how they treat you, not to what their opinion is. And I sat there, I laughed to myself. And just so we're completely clear, so that people don't think I'm getting this confused in any way, my interpretation is, it really sucks that we're no longer in a world where killing Nazis isn't celebrated.
Yeah. Like, it's
Pre-GI Robot, that robot did nothing wrong.
That's wild to me that someone that tells me if in real life their friend was like, oh, I'm going to this like community meeting, you should come along, and they're like, okay, cool, and they sat in there with their friend, and then it's revealed it's a Nazi thing, they'd be like, huh, well, you've got a different opinion, but I'm not going to hate you for it. It's like, what?
You've always been nice to me.
Like,
it's
no.
Like, that's not the fucking point.
Mate,
yeah.
As soon as he was like, oh, there's a bunch of boys, we're all kind of like into military, like we have these meetings. I was like, this is going to be white supremacists, isn't it? And then it's like, in the meeting,
I was like, this is going to be neo-Nazis.
And I was like, oh, and I was like, waiting for the reveal. And it was just like, the way they did GI Robot, and he goes, oh, they're Nazis. He just starts like, I was like, it was so perfect that was the case.
Yeah, I think you are batshit crazy if you think the commentary from that scene was you shouldn't kill people because they have a different opinion to you. That was not the point he was making. James Gunn was going, within our living relatives' memory, they were sent off to war to kill Nazis, and now we're letting Nazis just cut about fearlessly.
It's also very
it's
ironic.
A self-report.
The guy that bought the robot, right? If he knew anything about that robot, it killed Nazis, and then he's taking it to it like, bro, how dumb can you be?
The one thing that really, I think, was even more telling of it's not just they have a different opinion. He said to the guy who was hosting the meeting, I think GI here could really help out our cause. You've gone and bought a decommissioned weapon and then said you think it can help your cause. That isn't just a difference of opinion, you're planning an attack. GI Robot should never have been in prison. He should never have been part of the Creature Commandos. He should have been given all of them robot hotties and a very good pension.
Here's the thing. Like, I get, at the end of the day, sort of, yes, you need to go to prison because you murdered. You gotta keep a certain precedent in the world. You can't pick and choose. Morally, he did nothing wrong.
See, here's the thing. I think you can put a loophole in the law of, if they're a Nazi, it doesn't count as murder.
The tough thing is, the funny thing is, if America was technically at war with Germany, it would be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But because obviously they're allies, and obviously don't get me wrong, like I know Germans, I don't want to be saying that Germans are all Nazi, but like
the Germans watching that scene probably went robots based as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, it's just funny that people, it's wild that people took that take. I thought this episode was great. R.I.P. G.I. Robot. I was very sad that he got blown up. Maybe they try and rebuild him.
He's gone. I don't think he's gone. I refuse to believe he's gone.
I think they might try and rebuild him, which would be cool, but...
Now that we've got like the controversial bit that was had me chuckling on Twitter out of the way, let's talk about the episode as a whole. It was interesting because the episode ended with Cersei kind of being defeated. But there was a bit of panic in her voice, like they've royally fucked this up here, which kind of leads into the idea that maybe the princess isn't the princess.
Yeah, there was like a weird moment. Yeah, ended in the tone of her voice with those final lines was sort of like, you guys have, no, you're doing the wrong thing. I'm not actually evil. I'm trying, but like, you've just ruined this world or something.
Yeah. Whether no matter how bad you think I am, what you've just done is worse.
Yeah, and it's like, whether that means she's Clayface, I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, I don't know exactly what the I guess we're not supposed to know what the context is, but it is because I like what we both picked up that it wasn't a no, you foiled my plan, and it was a oh fuck no, the world is screwed.
Yeah, you've just stopped me saving the world. She wasn't just like the Suicide Squad and the Creature Commandos. They're not legally doing the right thing. She was legally not doing the right thing, but she was trying to stop something evil.
It's one of them themes that we saw in James Gunn's Suicide Squad film, where the idea is just because the government sent you there to do the thing doesn't mean it's the good thing.
Yeah, it's
because if it was the good thing, why would they be sending criminals to do it?
And it's it's interesting. I don't know if this like theory that she's Clayface, because I feel like that would have shown up with her getting beaten the shit out of.
I feel like we would have got a little
like even if it was just like a shift of her jaw, like something to show that like something's going on there, but there wasn't.
But Clayface's entire thing is he's like a dedicated actor.
True. Who knows? It was a very good episode though, and I did enjoy the whole
action was phenomenal.
The whole GI Robot backstory was cool.
Seeing him become friends with the World War II soldiers was so wholesome. Like after the battle where he saved them all, they're all cheering and he's just stood there with a pint. He doesn't know what to do with it, but they clearly bought him a drink out of instinct and he's just stood there with it like
and just smiles. Cheers for the Tin Man. The when he's like booted up later, like 20 years later, and the scientist, he's like, do you know, and he lists off all the crewmen and he's like, I'd like to see them again. And
so did you catch one of them names was Sergeant Rock?
Oh, I do. Oh,
who is the rumored project starring Daniel Craig?
That's imagine we get a live action GI Robot.
The other really cool one was, I don't know too much about these people, but that scientist was apparently instrumental in creating the Metal Men, which was another kind of superhero group of advanced androids.
Interesting.
Which would make sense why he was studying incredibly powerful robot for the 1940s. Which I guess kind of leads into this idea of what James Gunn's been saying he wants the DCU to be, which is we're not at the beginning of it with Superman. The world's already gone on, the world's already existed, and it's not going to be one continuous story. It's going to be you watch the stuff you care about, but no, the world has kept spinning in the background.
Yeah.
And I think having this project already starting to sprinkle this person does exist and this person does exist is showing that world building in effect very, very well.
Yeah. It'll be cool when we get the first kind of cross from an animated character into live action. However that is.
It is incredibly brave what they're trying to pull off with wanting actors to cross over mediums from animation to live action to video games and anything else they might choose to do. And I want it to succeed because I think it will make it very, very cool if it does.
Yeah.
But it's
Agreed.
not easy to pull off.
No, it's not. But I have hope. And I mean, like we talked about it last week, but this show has been actually kind of like a nice, fun little warm up for the DCU. It's actually,
It's been nice to have DC products again.
Yeah, it's good way to like. Yes, they could have just come out hit hard with Superman as their first thing, but for like the DC fans that have been like wanting and like aren't you're just casual fan who are maybe just waiting for Superman that aren't watching this, they're getting this like, okay, we're getting a little bit of like early tease. We get something to keep us going.
Yeah. And I also think it helps with the idea of this world isn't starting with Superman. We're just jumping in with Superman because there's all. It's like, well, that happened before Superman. That's all good. Just crack on, do whatever you want. I'm very, very excited. Apparently, episode 4 is about Weasel.
Oh, that could be fun.
So obviously, episode 1 was kind of just not a nothing burger. It was like, here's the team, here's what we're doing. Episode 2 was more focused on the Bride. Episode 3 on G.I. Robot. Apparently, episode 4 is focused on Weasel. I kind of like this idea of the story is progressing and you get to know a bit of the characters each time.
Yeah.
What I will say is, episode 2 finished with it looking like the Bride was dead.
Yeah.
Episode 3 ended with it looking like G.I. Robot is dead.
True.
Is that going to kind of lean into the idea of them being expendable? Like they're all hanging on for dear life, and maybe sometimes they don't come back, or maybe that's the thing. They come back after each episode, and then at the very last episode, they all get done.
Yeah, maybe. That's kind of why I was like, oh, rest in peace, G.I. Robot, because I'm like, they are expendable. Like the whole thing of this crew is that they're probably not going to survive whatever mission they're sent on.
Yeah.
Some of them are going to die.
If you have been enjoying this, I will once again urge you to go and watch James Gunn's Suicide Squad, because it is a very similar vibe in like what they're capturing.
Thinking about it with G.I. Robot, do you know what I bet is more likely?
Go on.
He is dead. Obviously, the government collects up the parts because he is a government asset. We don't see him. Actually gets put in a lab and they start working on rebuilding him, and then down the line he crops up again.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Very, very cool episode. I'm looking forward to next week. I believe this is an 8-episode season. I might be wrong on that though.
I think so.
I'm very curious to learn more about our fishy friend and Dr. Phosphorus.
Yeah. Dr. Phosphorus seems fun.
Yeah.
The animated shot of him burning the bullets was so cool. That whole animated fight in the castle was very sick.
So do you remember last year? No, it would have been earlier this year. When I was talking about the fact that people were a little bit upset that the people who did the Invincible trailer didn't do the show.
Yeah.
It was different animators. So the animators who did the trailer are the people who've done Creature Commandos.
That's cool.
So, like, the animation crew that everyone's like, no, why didn't Invincible keep them? Have gone on to work on Creature Commandos, and they have absolutely nailed it. I love the colours. I love the animation style. It's all coming together very nicely.
Oh, yeah.
Couldn't speak high praise of it right now. Do I think it's a masterpiece of modern art? No, not at all. It's not supposed to be, though. It's supposed to be fun, and it is.
Exactly. Right. This is what the DCU's gonna be.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of fun, so
exactly.